their family spokesperson. He described what happened today at Michael Jackson's house, how he was transported from the family's point of view. From what I'm told, there was no other family members at the actual press conference, but they are still inside. Randy and Jermaine were seen hugging each other in sorrow. LaToya Jackson was seen inside, his mother Catherine. I've been told that Joe Jackson was on his way from Las Vegas. I don't know if he's arrived yet.
Thea, thank you for some noble reporting in a difficult situation. And I know you, with the work you do for Entertainment Tonight, speaks for itself. Thea Andrews, we thank all the people who have joined us. A couple of personal notes before we turn it over to Anderson Cooper, and then a reminder, we'll be back at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. I had a kind of intertwined life with Michael Jackson. I first interviewed him when he was, I guess, 10 or 11 years old with the Jackson 5 in Miami. I was doing my radio show, and they were great guests, and he stood out. In fact, everyone there, the control room, they would all say, "Who is this kid?" He was just so ebullient and effusive. He was fantastic to be around. Later on, of course, things would be up and down in Michael Jackson's life. I saw him at RFK stadiums. I sat way up near the top of the stadium. Could barely see him, but I did have binoculars and got to enjoy that concert immensely, what I could hear of it. Saw a little of it, what I could hear of it. Then when he went on trial in 2005, I had overheard a conversation at Nate Now's restaurant here in Beverly Hills at the next table, and then the conversation dwelt over to our table, in which a lawyer was saying that the people who were pressing charges against Michael Jackson were, in fact, extorting from him. So I had told this to people, and they subpoenaed me to come and appear at the Jackson trial, and before I appeared, there was a hearing, and the judge did not allow me to testify because it was all hearsay. I was saying what someone else told me. I understood that completely. So did Michael. He gave me a nice smile on the way out. And then the last time I was with him, you see right there, was at this Jesse Jackson's wonderful charity. Had this special dinner they give every year where they honor people, and I was one of those, proud enough to be honored, and so was Michael. And we sat at the same table and talked with conversation like everybody makes. Who are your guests coming up? Someday I will do your show.
25th, 2009.
That never happened.
Using the guitar chords.
But, that was the last time I saw Michael Jackson. And then I learned information the other day from a friend of mine who had arranged for the plane that was going to fly Elizabeth Taylor over to
Knowledge of Michael Jackson
for opening night of Michael Jackson's soon-to-be 50-night concert that sadly will never take
Larry
place.
King's knowledge of Michael Jackson.
Eastern,
he just shared his knowledge of him, his friendship with him. He's sorry he won't be able to attend his 59th concert, Michael Jackson's 59th concert. That's one he'll never do.
Larry, thank you very much. Tonight, remembering Michael Jackson as the picture of his sudden death starts to come into focus. Sudden, but as you'll see in the next 2 hours, not entirely unexpected, not at least by some. Striking words this evening from a family spokesman who says that what happened to Anna Nicole Smith was nothing compared to what was going on in Michael Jackson's private life. That from a family spokesman for Jackson. Just moments ago, brother Jermaine Jackson had this to say.
This is hard. My brother, the legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson, passed away on Thursday, June 25th, 2009 at 2:26 p.m. It is believed he suffered cardiac arrest in his home.
Song by Paul Beckman, Paul Rainbow song.
However,
the song is going to be called 2:26 p.m.
The cause of his death is unknown until results of the autopsy are known. His personal physician, who was with him at the time,
2:26 p.m.
And as did the paramedics who transported him to Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. Upon
Michael Jackson
at the hospital at approximately 1:14 p.m., a team of doctors, including
2:26
emergency
p.m.
physicians and cardiologists,
at 2:26 p.m. on
for a period of
June
more than 1 hour.
25th, 2009.
And they were unsuccessful.
2:26 p.m.
Family request that the media
June 25th, 2009. Michael Jackson died.
And May Allah be with you,
This
Michael.
is his brother speaking on his behalf.
My brother Jermaine Jackson, just moments ago, this is the first time we have seen and heard from anyone in the Jackson family. Michael's body already in the medical examiner's office. There's the body right there, choppered. No freeway procession, no traffic jams, just a short flight across town. The autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. This video we saw earlier today, Michael Jackson being taken in an ambulance. The ambulance actually leaving his home. Now, all we know for certain right now is today at home on the west side of LA, something happened. Michael Jackson's heart stopped, he stopped breathing. Medics were called, efforts were made, but despite those efforts, Jackson died. Now, in addition to the investigation, the outpouring, as you look, the crowds gathering tonight in many places outside the hospital in Los Angeles, at his home, and at the Apollo Theater here in Harlem, New York, where we'll also be looking at his life over the next 2 hours, a special edition of 360, and then another hour's live edition of Larry King. What a long, strange trip it has been for Michael Jackson, from child star to creator of the best-selling album ever, to a billionaire and criminal defendant, the famous or infamous, one of the best-known people on the planet ever. Tonight, what we know about how he died, how he is being remembered, and how he lived.
226.
This is how Michael Jackson first burst onto the music scene. An adorable child, a precocious pop prodigy set to become a big star.
I know you better be good to you.
He was born Michael Joe Jackson in 1958 in Gary, Indiana, the 7th of 9 children. His father, Joe, was a retired steelworker who turned his sons into the original boy band, the Jackson 5, with 5-year-old Michael taking the lead.
He was a symbol for the consummate entertainer. You know, not since Sammy Davis Jr. had someone come along with such a diverse range of talents.
He was just 11 when the group's first single, I Want You Back, made it to #1 on the Billboard charts. 2 more hits would quickly follow, ABC and The Love You Saved. It was clear from the start that Michael would outshine his singing siblings, the young boy being groomed for life as a superstar.
From the time that most kids were building tree houses, Michael Jackson was building an image. And Michael was happy to play along with that because he understood at a very early age that image making and public relations was very important.
But even then, there were rumors that behind the happy family facade stood a secret. Stories of violence, of a father driven, riding his children hard, pushing them to succeed.
When Michael discusses these beatings today, he gets very emotional. It's clear that he hasn't come to terms with any of that yet.
Michael still made music with his brothers throughout the 1970s, but managed to move ahead on his own at the same time. He released his first solo album, Got to Be There, in 1972. His first solo #1 hit was a romantic ballad about a rat named Ben.
Ben, the two of us need love no more.
5 years later, the album Off the Wall put Jackson's solo career over the top. It sold 7 million copies and produced 4 top 10 singles. That would be nothing compared with what was to come. 1982 and the release of Thriller. It was this album which sold 26 million copies and sat at #1 on the charts for 37 weeks that transformed the child singing sensation into a superstar.
Michael was not a phenomenon with Thriller. He was beyond phenomenon. I mean, the record flew out of stores. It could not be stopped.
And with his skyrocketing stardom came the trademark touches, now so much a part of his persona.
From the iconic look to the moonwalk, to the glove.
The red jacket and with the zippers and glasses and the white socks.
But there were also the first signs that something wasn't right.
A song by Paul Beckman, Paul Ringo song, created June 25th, 2009.
1984,
using the guitar chords, E minor and B flat. The song is going to be called
with 2 dates, Brooke Shields and Emmanuel Lewis.
Michael Jackson had a long
with cosmetic
history.
surgery, an obsession that would change his face forever.
Every few months, you would see him and you go, whoa, you're looking weird.
Well, Michael Jackson had a long history.
Wow. He's not going to be able to get any weirder.
long history.
A 1986 photo showed Michael asleep
Jackson
in an anti-aging chamber. In 1987,
started out
he reportedly
young
tried to buy the bones of Elvis
and later
John Merrick.
developed a
Then, of course,
solo
there was Bubbles the
career.
Chimp and an odd array of disguises. If life seemed strange, at least the music still mattered. Jackson's album Bad hit the shelves in 1987 and sold 8 million copies. And in 1988, he bought a 2,700-acre ranch for $28 million, and he called it Neverland.
There's a reason it's called Neverland Valley, you know. His fixation on the I won't grow up, I'm a lost boy, I'm Peter Pan.
With the ranch,